The Los Angeles Lakers picked up their third consecutive victory on Tuesday night, defeating the New Orleans Pelicans 110-101 at Crypto.com Arena in a game that was far from clean. Doncić led the way with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, but was quick to deflect individual credit and point instead to the collective resolve the team showed when things looked their worst. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. It was not the kind of game that highlights reels are built around. The Lakers struggled for long stretches and at one point found themselves trailing by 8 points, 94-86, with just over 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Zion Williamson had just completed an and-one play that seemed to give the Pelicans full control of the contest. The momentum was firmly in New Orleans' favor, and the Staples faithful might have been forgiven for bracing for an ugly loss against one of the weakest teams in the entire league. But that is when the Lakers flipped a switch. Over the next 3 minutes, Los Angeles rattled off a stunning 12-0 run, completely erasing the deficit and seizing the lead. From that point on, they never looked back, closing out the game with composure and securing a 110-101 final. It was the definition of an ugly win, the kind that separates contenders from pretenders. Dončić, speaking after the final buzzer, was candid about the team's overall performance. He did not try to paint it as a polished effort. Instead, he focused on what truly mattered, the purpose and determination his teammates showed when the game was on the line. "Just our purpose," Dončić said when asked what he liked about the win. "I think obviously they went on a run, but there was a lot of time left, so we were saying that there was a lot of time left, and our purpose to go on a 12-0 run was great." For Dončić, a player who has been through the grind of playoff basketball and high-pressure moments throughout his NBA career, this kind of resilience carries real meaning. The ability to stay composed, maintain belief, and execute down the stretch is a trait that the best teams in the league possess. And the Slovenian superstar believes Tuesday's result was a sign that the Lakers may be developing exactly that quality. "Very big," he said when asked how significant the win was. "I think we responded in a big way. Sometimes you gotta win playing bad. That's what good teams do, and I think that's what we did today." Obviously, it wasn't our best game, but we managed to get the win out of it. That mentality, the ability to grind out victories even when nothing is working, is one of the most valuable attributes a team can have heading into the final stretch of a regular season. Head coach JJ Redick has been working to instill that kind of winning culture since taking over the helm, and nights like Tuesday represent a positive step in that direction. The timing of this win is particularly meaningful. The Lakers now find themselves within just half a game of the Denver Nuggets for 5th place in the Western Conference standings. But the schedule ahead is far from easy. 9 of Los Angeles' next 11 games are against teams with winning records. That is a brutal gauntlet that will test every aspect of what the Lakers are building. Dončić acknowledged the challenge while keeping his focus firmly on the present. Could be perfect timing, or not. "You just gotta approach those games with the same mentality," he said. "Obviously, all of those teams have great players. They're winning games, so we need to go game by game, first of all, and then just try to win all those games." Beyond the game itself, Tuesday also served as a backdrop for a notable subplot involving Dončić and head coach JJ Redick. The two had been seen exchanging heated words on the bench during the Lakers' recent win over the Golden State Warriors, a moment that quickly went viral on social media and sparked significant speculation about the state of their relationship. Redick moved to put those concerns to rest before Tuesday's game, downplaying the incident and emphasizing the strength of his bond with his star player. "I didn't think much of it at the time, to be honest with you. I don't think Luka did either," Redick said. "He and I have a great relationship. I really value our relationship, and I think those things happen. Not every game, but they happen very frequently, and sometimes you have to rehash them with a player, or as a teammate. Sometimes it happens player to player." The message was clear. Competitive fire between a coach and his best player is not a red flag. It is a sign of shared investment in winning. For a Lakers team that has shown real growth over recent weeks, that kind of trust and communication between coach and star may prove to be one of their most important assets down the stretch run of the 2025-26 season. Tuesday's game also reinforced something that has become increasingly apparent about this version of the Lakers. They are a team capable of winning in multiple ways. There will be nights when the offense clicks, when Dončić is making every pass look effortless. But there will also be nights like Tuesday where nothing comes easily and the team must find a way to win through sheer determination and defensive stops. That ability to win ugly is not a small thing. In a Western Conference race that remains brutally competitive, every game matters. A loss on Tuesday, dropping a home game to one of the weakest teams in the league, could have been demoralizing. Instead, the Lakers turned it into a statement about their character, and Coach JJ Redick's squad will need more of that same resolve in the weeks ahead. When the Los Angeles Lakers were put together ahead of the 2025-26 NBA season, defense was not exactly the first thing that came to mind. A roster built around Luka Dončić, Austin Reeves, and a 41-year-old Lebron James was almost guaranteed to be an offensive-first team. The expectation from most analysts and fans was that the Lakers would try to outscore opponents rather than stop them, and for a long stretch early in the season, that assumption seemed well-founded, for the wrong reason. Through the team's first 46 games, Los Angeles posted a defensive rating of 117.3, which placed them 25th in the entire NBA. Only genuine lottery contenders, teams like the Brooklyn Nets, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, Washington Wizards, and Utah Jazz, were playing worse defense. It was a troubling number for a franchise with championship aspirations, and it raised legitimate questions about whether this team had the defensive foundation needed to make a serious playoff run in an ultra-competitive Western Conference. But something shifted around the end of January. Since January 29th, the Lakers have posted a defensive rating of 112.0 over their last 15 games, good enough for 12th in the league during that span. The team has gone 9-6 in that stretch and has maintained a firmly positive net rating. It is not an overnight transformation, but it represents a meaningful and measurable improvement that is beginning to show up in the win column. Following their Tuesday night victory over the Pelicans, their third consecutive win, LeBron James addressed the improvement directly. Asked about what he liked from the team's performance, the veteran forward focused almost exclusively on the defensive end of the floor. "We got stops," James said plainly. "They mixed up the defenses a lot, so it confused us a little bit offensively, but we made some plays, and we turned a lot of those stops into fast break opportunities." That connection, turning defensive stops into offensive transition opportunities, is exactly the kind of two-way basketball that can make a team dangerous. When defense directly fuels offense, it changes the energy of a game and puts pressure on the opposing team in ways that a half-court attack alone cannot replicate. LeBron was also quick to acknowledge the broader defensive improvement the team has shown over the past several weeks, specifically highlighting the contributions of his teammates in that area. "I think so. I think we've made some strides defensively," he said. "We didn't play much zone at all tonight. We started the game out with it. We kind of went away from it. I thought the man-to-man defense was pretty good. Jackson Hayes and Marcus Smart were great on that end, and then everybody else trickled in as well." The mention of Hayes and Smart is noteworthy. Both players have been instrumental in anchoring the Lakers defensively. Smart, a former Defensive Player of the Year, brings a level of toughness, intensity, and defensive IQ that sets the tone for the entire unit. Hayes, for his part, provides rim protection and interior presence that gives opposing guards and forwards something to think about before attacking the basket. The broader strategic picture for the Lakers is becoming clearer. The preseason consensus was that if this team could be even league average on defense while maintaining their offensive firepower, they would be genuinely dangerous. Over the last month plus, they have been better than average. Since January 29th, they rank 9th offensively in the league, placing them firmly among the top tier. Combine that with a top 12 defensive rating in the same span, and you have a team that is performing as a legitimate two-way unit. That combination matters enormously heading into the playoffs. The Western Conference remains as competitive and unforgiving as ever, and teams that rely solely on offense tend to get exposed when defensive-minded opponents force them into slow, grinding games. The Lakers, by developing a credible defensive identity alongside their offensive capabilities, are giving themselves a real chance to advance deep into the postseason. Off the court, a major storyline continues to follow LeBron wherever he goes: his future. At 41 years old, James will become an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. The options on the table reportedly include returning to the Lakers, heading home to the Cleveland Cavaliers, or walking away from the game entirely. Reports indicate he has no intention of making any decision until the offseason concludes. For now though, LeBron remains locked in. His leadership, both vocal and by example, has clearly been a factor in the defensive turnaround the Lakers have experienced. As the final weeks of the regular season approach, the question is whether Los Angeles can maintain and build upon the defensive progress that James and his teammates have worked so hard to establish. Coach JJ Redick has also played a key role in this improvement. The first-year head coach has been intentional about building accountability on the defensive end, challenging his players to compete harder and make smarter decisions away from the ball. When a 41-year-old superstar like LeBron publicly credits the team's defensive effort in a post-game press conference, it sends a powerful message about what the standard needs to be. The Lakers now sit within half a game of the Denver Nuggets for 5th in the Western Conference. A tough stretch awaits. 9 of the next 11 opponents have winning records, but the defensive improvements they have shown give real reason for optimism as April approaches. The Los Angeles Lakers made a significant front office move this week, announcing the hiring of Michael Spetner as the franchise's new chief strategy and growth officer. The position is a brand new role within the Lakers' organizational structure, created specifically to guide the team's long-term business strategy, generate additional value for the franchise, and spearhead efforts to expand the Lakers' presence in international markets. Spetner arrives in Lakerland with an impressive track record, having spent the last decade with the Los Angeles Dodgers. In his most recent role with the baseball club, he served as vice president of business strategy and analytics, a position that placed him at the center of some of the most innovative and forward-thinking business decisions in all of Major League Baseball. His expertise spans commercial strategy, fan engagement, digital transformation, and international market development. The hire continues a growing trend of talent flowing directly from the Dodgers organization to the Lakers. Since Mark Walter took over as the Lakers' principal owner, the synergy between the two Los Angeles franchises has become increasingly apparent. Walter, who also holds a stake in the Dodgers, has worked to bring some of the best minds from that organization across to the basketball side of his sports portfolio. Spetner is the latest in what appears to be a deliberate and strategic pipeline. Lakers president of business operations Lon Rosen, who also made his way over from the Dodgers organization, welcomed Spetner's appointment with a clear vision for what the executive will contribute. As we look to redefine what's possible across the sports landscape for fans and partners, we will build on the Lakers' legacy and orient toward the future to consider what's next, Rosen said. Michael's leadership will help us optimize our business to ensure long-term value. Rosen's words carry weight. The Lakers are not just a basketball team. They are one of the most globally recognized sports brands on the planet. Managing and growing that brand requires executive talent with the sophistication and experience to think beyond traditional sports business models. Spetner, with his decade of experience at one of baseball's most progressive organizations, fits that profile precisely. During his time with the Dodgers, Spetner was responsible for implementing advanced business models for rights holders and worked extensively on modernizing the fan experience. He helped combine the in-arena atmosphere with digital communities in ways that expanded the Dodgers' reach well beyond what physical attendance alone could provide. That kind of thinking, integrating digital and physical fan experiences into a seamless whole, is increasingly central to how elite sports franchises generate revenue and maintain cultural relevance. Perhaps most relevant to the Lakers' ambitions, Spetner was a driving force behind the Dodgers' international growth strategy. He led the franchise's efforts to establish a Japan-based fan club and was responsible for creating an immersive museum-style exhibition in Tokyo that celebrated the team's history and drew fans from across Asia. For a franchise with as rich a history as the Dodgers, finding ways to tell that story on the global stage represented a significant commercial and cultural achievement, and Spetner was at the center of it. The Lakers present an even larger canvas. With global icons like LeBron James and the legacy of Kobe Bryant woven into the fabric of the franchise's history, Los Angeles already boasts one of the most fervent international fan bases in all of professional sports. Kobe's influence, in particular, remains enormous across Asia, Europe, and Latin America. LeBron, meanwhile, has used his platform to build a global brand that extends far beyond basketball courts. And then there is Luka Dončić. The Slovenian superstar brings his own massive international following to the Lakers, one that stretches across Europe and has helped introduce the team to entirely new markets. Rosen has been explicit about his desire to leverage Doncic's global appeal to push the Lakers brand to new heights. Sitting in my Dodger seat, I only dreamed that we would have the reach that the Lakers have, Rosen said recently. Let's face it, having Luka Dončić doesn't hurt at all. He's one of the most popular players in the world, and we want to obviously jump on his shoulders and see what we can reach out there. His global reach is everywhere. With Spetner now on board to translate that ambition into concrete business strategy, the Lakers are clearly signaling that their goals extend well beyond what happens on the hardwood at Crypto.com Arena. Growing the brand globally, deepening fan engagement digitally, and identifying new commercial opportunities will be Spetner's mandate. And the combination of the Lakers' legacy, their current roster talent, and the business infrastructure being built around it suggests the franchise is positioning itself for a new era of growth both on and off the court. It is also worth noting what this hire says about the direction of the Lakers under Mark Walters' ownership. The willingness to create an entirely new executive role, rather than simply filling an existing vacancy, reflects a proactive mindset about the future of sports business. The Lakers are not waiting to react to industry changes. They are trying to get ahead of them. Bringing in someone with Spetner's background to lead that charge reflects a commitment to building an organization as formidable in the boardroom as on the basketball court.